Hello guys, good evening. Sagar this side. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
you are audible.
Okay.
Audible.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'll just walk through intro about myself, and then I'll definitely would ask or expect you guys to also introduce and where do you come from and what is the expectation from this course. So as you all know, this is a network automation batch which we are starting from today. So the first two class, as usual, are the free trials, and the we are gonna talk about this, what's gonna be covered, and the agenda for the first two classes. And you guys can also come up with your doubts, or if you got any clarification with regards to the automation, then I'll definitely guide you here. Okay. So these are the two agendas. These are the some curriculum which we would discuss for 19th and 20th Feb, which is today and tomorrow. So I'm just gonna walk through on some basics and the softwares or the compiler that you need for automation, and how do you basically begin, or how do you what things you need for automating or get started with automation. So these are these few things which we will discuss here in the first two curriculum. So I'm Sagar, and my full name is Sagar Dhawan, and I'm CCNP DevNet certified, and I've been training automation for last 2 to 3 years, even before when Cisco DevNet was not introduced. And later on, once the DevNet was introduced, we even introduced Cisco DevNet in our curriculum. Okay, so this course will consist of Python, Ansible, and also Cisco DevNet from the certification point of view. All right. So before we jump into some discussion, some of you guys can unmute and introduce yourself if you were already present in my batch, and you know how we proceed, or if you want to share your experience, feel free to do it. And those guys who are joining for the very first time, welcome you all, and you guys can unmute and let me know where do you stand, so that I can prepare the course in such a way that I we all are in a same track and get started from a beginner level, and then get into a good pace. And at the end of the batch, we expect that the students start writing their own code to some automation, or to automate some the Cisco devices, etc. Okay, so your introduction will help me to understand.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi. My name's Keith. I live in Switzerland, and in the past, I've mostly been dealing with Cisco devices, and yeah, so I would like to learn some automation to be able to automate a lot of the devices. I have some experience with Ansible. I know the kind of layout, so I'm kind of familiar with Ansible, but with also with automation, cloud being a big thing also, it would be very helpful. Yeah, so that's my intro.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. All right, who is going next?
Hey, my name is Kushwant Singh. I go by Sunny. Been working with networking and Cisco devices for last 10, 12 years. Has some experience with running scripts. Don't have much experience writing Python or Ansible scripts. I can kind of, big borrow and steal and kind of make it work. But I really want to learn hands-on from A to Z how to, write my own programs, my own scripts to be able to automate all kind of network devices. So that's why I'm here.
hello. My name is Tony. I've been a network engineer also for the past 5-6 years, working on Cisco devices and a bit on Alcatel switches. I'm very interested in automation, especially using Python and Ansible. I don't have any experience on this, so I'm hoping we will start from the beginning. It will be a beginner class. And I don't know if you need some experience on Python, which I don't have. So that's why I'm interested if this will be for the beginners. And that's my expectation, one of my expectations, to be honest, so that at the end of this batch, I'll be able to program and do automation using Ansible where I work. Thank you.
Hi, this is Kapil. So I have the total around 14 years of experience into networking industry. And the reason why I'm here is because I'm more looking towards the automation side. And yeah, I have a little bit of experience in writing up these scripts, but I used to do that in the shell. So just the experience of shell scripting. So just I'm new to this Python and Ansible. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I hope it's also in the afternoon side. My name is Takunda Shabe. I'm from Zimbabwe, a network engineer. I have 8 years of experience working with Cisco and Huawei. I'm particularly new to automation, though I have a strong appreciation of Python, but need to harness the skills into my environment. Thank you.
Hi, Maury Bamba here. So I'm a network engineer, and I've noticed that nowadays automation is one of the key skills that is required on top of our network engineer skills. And to be honest, I'm lacking the skill. So I want to fill this gap. Better having like a better understanding, on how to automate things, create script so that I can add more value, bring more value, in my current company, and of course having like extra scale. And yeah, that's why I'm joining this. And like one of the guys said, hopefully we start from the beginning and going to past the intermediate level, so that I feel comfortable and confident automating stuff in real world. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Raju. Hello.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
on.
Go ahead. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
audible.
Yes, my name is Raju. I'm from Andhra Pradesh. Coming to my projects, I have only 8 months of experience in networking. I am a beginner to this new fresher to this network industry. So I'm basic level on the Cisco devices, like troubleshooting issues also mainly privilege mode only. So I need to move learning the skill of automation for this for beginner level to expert level. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else who have anything to say or announce?
Hi Shagar, hi everyone. Vikas is here, and I am having experience of 7 years on Cisco and Juniper and networking devices. So I am looking here to automation, and the basic we need to start, and we need to go through like we need to create a alert from the SNMP server and all. So I just need to be my expectation that we can make a project at least networking if we are working in a company.
Yeah, hi Sagar.
Yeah, hi
This is
Nazir.
Nasir. So I think we are already in touch or LinkedIn or WhatsApp, but I have around 8 years of experience. But at this stage, I feel now routing and switching or security is not something that is suffice for us to survive in network market. So we would definitely need some additional skills. Maybe already it is already we can see in so many job openings that it is there. So that is why I am here. But I have one question. So since this is a weekend batch, so is weekend batch enough, or it will be too much for us, who are new to scripting, or we should prefer weekday classes over weekend? Because in weekend I believe it will be 3 hour continuously classes or 2 hours. So I wanted to attend this training from long, but due to some shifts or some issues, I couldn't.
Okay. So Nazir, that's
Suggestion on that
that
if weekend
yeah.
is enough or weekday is enough for those who are new to scripting world.
Yeah, so I would say that it's individual preference.
That's it.
Either you go with the weekdays or weekend. We will go in a pace that the students can adapt to this new technology. Okay, even if it is a weekend, we usually conduct 3 hours of batch, but the initial 30 minutes go for doubt clearing session. We will have 15 to 20 minutes of break in between, and also while we end, we end the session with some more doubt clearing. So 3 hours gradually decreases to 2.5 only. Okay, and someone who needs weekdays, feel free to attend that in case if you don't have time on weekend, and it's a vice versa. So it's up to one's time availability too, and accordingly you guys can plan. We already having one weekdays batch going on, and this is a weekend, and in next month we will start with another weekdays batch. Okay, but both are gonna be good, and I mean you can grab it. That's what I want to conclude. Okay,
What will be the timing for weekday batch for next month?
you mean to say weekdays
Just
or weekdays,
yeah,
right?
weekdays. Yeah.
Okay, weekdays I usually take it uh, 10 p.m. IST, 10
Okay,
p.m.
okay,
IST, or
that's
9
fine.
9 p.m. IST, somewhere in this.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
get in touch with you for that then. But yeah,
Okay. Sure. 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 Okay.
thank you
All
so much.
right. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you everyone for taking your time to introduce yourself. And I'm happy that almost all the participants are from the networking background. Who knows what Cisco, what's router, what switches, because Python is in that level that when people hear the word Python, they start thinking that it's a generic Python for data science, or Python for application development, or Python for big data. So anyone who is here who are not from a networking background, anyone without a networking background who are expecting the generic Python on a application or web development scenarios. So see, if I just put up in this way, Python is widely used in a lot of domain these days. So one of them is the networking, the one which we are right now. Apart from there, people use it for web development. Some people use it for data science or big data. Okay, so there are some batches where people think it's Python and just jump over on this meeting, and then they realize it's towards the networking concept. Okay, so let me be clear, this is a Python automation, Ansible automation over on networking devices. That means could be Cisco, Junos, Arista, could be anything, but relevant to networking only. Yeah, Kapil, you got any doubt? I see you have raised your hand.
Yeah, yeah, Sagar. So just one doubt. So like
Mhm.
when you say related to the networking, so
Mhm.
yeah, definitely I'm from the networking background, but what I'm like related to the Python into my industry, what I have the high level idea is like integrating with some APIs as well. So like tools like
Mhm.
Snow.
Mhm.
So where we can say like if a get ticket get open and when the alert gets cleared, so maybe we can
Mhm.
automate something so that ticket gets auto closed. So
Yeah, but it's again, you're talking about networking only, right?
right, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, just
So that is the basic ground line, that those who are from networking concept, or could be any monitoring tool, or any SNMP tool, but in and around networking, that's all fine. Okay.
yeah. So
Uh-huh.
are we going to cover that type of scenarios as well in our labs and this course?
Yeah, we have lab scenarios where I'll be showing you the API calls and how do you fetch the things and how do you configure over on REST API net count, but that would be on the later stages. So starting, we will start with basics on
Gotcha.
Python, and we will climb towards Ansible, and then we will move towards Cisco DevNet, and there I will show you all the API calls and how do you interpret APIs. Okay.
Got you. Just want to make sure because I just want to be sure like that is not
Okay.
covered under application development. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. So the question is put up on the screen. What are the challenges in the traditional IT networking jobs? Okay, you are all experienced folks now. You definitely would have done a lot of manual task, copying iOS, taking backup. So I just want you guys to put down some points which I can write it over here. So what is that manual task which you did in your organization and you want to automate it?
Configuring network interfaces.
Okay. Interface configurations.
Interface configuration.
Okay.
Upgrades.
Okay. Let's say iOS upgrades. What else?
Inventory and taking
Sorry?
back. Inventory and
configuration.
So, guys, one at a time. Sorry.
So
Tell me.
Configuration.
okay. Also inventory and taking backup of devices.
Okay. Backup. Very tedious job.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Sometimes
Sometimes we need to run the commands and we need an Excel format. For example, which port is access port, which is a trunk port that we need in the Excel format. Sometimes our manager asking us to provide the report.
Okay. Excel reporting, let's say. Excel reporting or audit. Okay. What else?
Multiple rollouts.
Go ahead.
Multiple rollouts of various devices.
Okay, so let's say multiple device configuration. Could be you're pushing out a config on thousands of devices. Okay. What else?
Like configuring VLANs.
Okay.
Layer 3 VLANs on the devices.
Okay, so VLAN configuration, basically part of let's say config or okay. So VLAN configuration or any other protocol configurations.
So BGP and MPLS.
Yes, we can say BGP, MPLS, or any IPSec configurations you're planning to do it.
Also, standardizing config across the devices.
Yes, standardization, very important. Okay.
And then being able to verify that, config is same across the boxes.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So this basically comes under compliance and remediation. A lot of company where the customer where the customer has, let's say, an existing network of thousands devices, but the configs are not same across all of them. Might be one of the device has 10 access list, could be another box has 5 access list. Now they want to standardize the config in such a way that all has uniformity. Okay, standardization. Okay, what else?
So something
We have the
this is
timing
completely.
We have the timing. I mean, scripting is much faster than configuring each device.
Okay, so I'm gonna write it faster, and can I also write it as human to avoid human errors?
Yeah, fast and efficient.
Yeah,
but that's not a challenge. The solution.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean,
I know what you mean, but yeah.
Okay.
Brother Sagar, what about configuration, like a cloud configuration spot, like any interfaces?
Yeah, we have written it here. Configurations. We have written here. We have written here. We also written here the configurations.
I think shutting down segments during troubleshooting or outages.
Shutting down?
Yeah, segments, network segments.
Okay.
Especially if you want to troubleshoot, normally you have to start somewhere and you might just have big issues 50 minutes later.
Okay, sure. So I put it as troubleshooting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, something which is repetitive and has same steps throughout. It can be DHCP processes or anything in network. And recently, I've also seen, F5 certificates which are getting expired are also automated nowadays.
Okay. Okay.
So
So let's say
that's one.
from F5 certificates, okay,
So
or
they should
some
automatically detect it
proactive
is getting.
notification or some auto mail configuration, so which notifies the administrator about something getting expired.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, let's say if you're performing a maintenance window, and after the maintenance window you wanna send an automated email to, might be your stakeholders, the project manager, might be the other folks, saying that this so and so change request is done or completed. Some kind of auto generated mail. The moment it's done, you don't have to manually frame an email or compose an email. Once the script is done with this job, it's gonna send that notify to everyone. Okay. What else?
Yeah, like ops, managing ops, operations, day-to-day ops
Okay.
can be one task. Maybe yeah, we can automate that.
Okay.
Yeah, good
Ops.
one.
Okay. Ops management. Anyone thought about building any monitoring tools?
Yeah, dashboards. Yeah, that would be
Right.
helpful.
Yeah, because a lot of companies like these
Monitoring tools.
Solar Wind, HP and NMI, CS Spectrum, these
Yeah,
these
PRTG.
yeah, PRTG, though these people charge a hefty amount to the enterprise, and now enterprise knows that there is a solution over which can be free of cost. We just need a skillful engineer who can write some code and develop us some monitoring tool, and we can get rid of paying a huge amount to these third party vendors, right?
Yes.
So yeah, anything else? Anything else which you think about it? Let's
Bulk
say
migrations.
sorry.
Bulk migrations.
Okay, when you say migration, what exactly you wanna do it? I mean, is it a device migration or
Yeah, device migrations.
okay?
We can
Another one
translate.
more. That's ticketing tool.
Okay, so let me say device migration, but might be most of people may not understand what is it. So let me just tell you. So let's say you guys are having 3850 stack, 3750, and as you know that these are all getting end of life, and Cisco recommends you to get into the Cat 9000 series or 9X series. Okay, now this is one type of migration, and where you would replace the box, and you might have to put back those configuration on a newer side of box, right? So I can also put it as taking a backup of all these older boxes and importing it to on a newer box, which used to be manual task previously. Every time when there is an end of life, the device list announced by the official vendors, and then people used to migrate it.
Sir, box means what, sir?
Box, I can call it as the Cisco router switches or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. So in short form, I'm calling as box because if I say router, might be other people think that automation is not applicable for switch or firewall. So in general, I'm calling box, which can consist of router, switch, firewall, load balancer, proxy. Okay. What else? There was one more input which I was receiving.
So, ticketing tool.
Okay, ticketing tool. So let's say that your customer has lot of devices, and if something goes down, there should be a auto ticket to be generated and sent to the respective team, so that people like L1 team or L2 team can do the troubleshooting and basically can get the fix done on a strict LSA okay, service level agreement. Also, there are some more scenarios. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Device deployment.
Device
deployment.
Okay, which device are you referring?
Okay, let's say we have a network project, you need to roll out devices. So the deployment process may need to be automated.
Okay, all right. So let's say device deployment, day 0 configurations or day 1 configurations. Okay.
And image upgrade on the device.
Yeah, we have put it somewhere here. iOS upgrade. So when I
Sorry. Hello, guys. Are we going to cover some scenarios for the ACI implementation or UCS, like configuration management and configuration push? I know
yes.
that currently on the ACI, it's very huge number of the ports that it's not possible to do it manually.
Yeah, so we have ACI, SD-WAN, Meraki over on the API scenarios. Okay, when I'm going
Yes.
to take the APIs case studies, I'll cover up these vendors.
I'm sorry, maybe I joined late if I have this question. So usually, are you plan to go with the sessions at what time, or still it's not discussed?
Yeah, actually,
I'm sorry for that. Because I just joined now, so
okay.
I just need to clarify about
Yeah,
this
no,
point.
no issues. So this is our official website link, which I'll put up on the chat window. So it's starting from today, and it's gonna be 8:30 p.m. IST once we start the regular batch. So today and tomorrow is just a demo, which we started 6:30 p.m. IST. Okay,
Great.
so it's a 2 month of total duration. So we will also discuss on all this after today's demo session. Okay, but in very short note, this is, I have put the link on the chat as well. All right. So guys, anyone has any other inputs here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so two things. Number one is about the timing. Can't we maintain this time? That's number one. So number two, in contribution to this, do we have can we automate a process whereby maybe we are troubleshooting or we have a ticket and we want to troubleshoot an issue? We needed some more details about the issue, like source IP, destination IP, port number, and then maybe the app team send us, oh, my application is down, something is down. Is there a way we can automate a process whereby it will just send them the details to be populated? Or these are the things we need for our troubleshooting. Can you
Yes.
provide the source IP, destination, ports, and
See,
then
we have to your requirement is basis on some proactive capturing of the IP and etc. On basis of some issues. So for such requirement, we have to create some cron job. Okay, and we can create a script, the script which has the inventory coming in from some Excel sheet or something, and this job will be continuously run. And whenever they find some sort of issues with some BGP going down or some interface going down, it should send us an email stating that this and so interface is down. Okay, so I'll show you some some test samples today. I'm gonna show you some test samples for a couple of points that we have put up here. How do you do it? But when we start with the class, we will go in a proper systematic way. We will start with very small piece of a script first and try to understand what is that script, and then we will go into a complex script writing. Okay, so today the whichever script I might show you, it would look a kind of advanced to you on your first day. I don't say that this is how we will start our first class. When we start with our first class, regular class, I'll take with very small number of line, a very small script. I will take it, might be just to fetch show IP int brief only, and then we will start enhancing that script with many more functionality. Okay, and when you start enhancing, the same 10 lines of code might go to 60 lines of code also. Okay, so these are all something which I will show it today in today's class in another 10, 15, 20 minutes. Okay. All right. So thanks everyone for your good inputs. So these are some frequently challenges that we see in the traditional jobs. I just have put it across here. Okay. So let me take you to the lab. Now this is the software which is on my screen. It's called as PyCharm. It's basically IDE. It's called as Interpreter Development Environment, which is nothing but where I can write my script, I can compile it, I can debug the code, I can see whether my code is good, there's any issue with this code. Okay, so this is a platform where we basically will write the code. So there are a couple of options. This is not the only one software we have. So let me write the prerequisite first that you need to get started. So we need definitely the programming language. Okay. And there are a lot of programming languages available. You know, there is something called Java, there is C, C++, something called Go, there's something called Chef, there's something called as Puppet. Okay. There are a lot of programming language, but we will go with Python. Python and its version 3. So this is the latest version right now. We will go with this as our programming language. And then we need a software ID, okay, where I would write my script. To write script. And this you can take it of your choice. You can go with Microsoft Visual Studio VS, or you can go with PyCharm, you can go with Atom, or as simple as Notepad++ or Sublime Text Editor. But I would not recommend the last two. The reason is they don't have a auto correction and auto pop-ups, whereas these one are what most of enterprise use it. Okay, and both of them has a free community version. You can use either one of them. I'll take it PyCharm because I've been using this for last 2 to 3 years. I'm familiar with all its options, so I'll go with this. But if you want to go with Microsoft Visual, I will also guide you how do you set it up. Or if you're good with PyCharm or it's a first time for you, then go with PyCharm. It's simplest and it's one of the best tool to be used for writing the script. And apart from this, what else we need? We need some emulators, right? You have your script, but where would you test your script now? You need some lab emulators. You can go with GNS, or you can go with EVNG, or you can go with the PNet Labs, or you can go with the Cisco CML2, or if you have a real box, you can go with that also. So how many of you have a real box stack at your home for labbing?
I do.
Okay.
I have a real box with EVNG on it, so
Okay, so those who guys want to do it on real box, we will guide you with that as well. But again, you know, the challenge of using real box at home, the heat issue, the power issue, and might be 1 or 2, 3 boxes you might have. But automation is something where you want to test it on multi vendors, Arista, Palo, F5, and might be you cannot get all of them, right? So all the software version goes very well these days because of the virtualization concept. We will give you the setup either on GNS or EVNG or PNet, which you can deploy on your system. It needs 16 GB of RAM and 4 CPU. If you do not have this, then you know that you can also opt for remote server, especially those who have enrolled us. You guys can opt for remote server. You get 2 months of unlimited lab access. Okay, it's unlimited. That means you can access it anytime as per your convenience. Or if you have your own laptop or your server, we will guide you on building your home lab setup. Or if you are having a real box stack, you can also run the script against on those boxes. Okay, so these are some prerequisite uh, that's required, and all of them are most of them are available free of cost. So this is free of cost, which you can download as a software from Python website. Same goes with this is also free of cost, which you can download. But this depends, these are also having some pro version, some free version, community version as well. And if you want to go with real box, then definitely you have to spend a lot of money on that. Okay, so we will guide you on all of this, to set up and to configure, etc. So any doubt here on this slide with the prerequisite tools to get started?
No,
I'm sorry. What is high DE again?
It's basically the compiler where we are gonna
Okay.
we are gonna write our script.
Okay. Okay. So all these are just, they are editors. Are they
Sorry?
Python editors? Are these all Python editors?
Yes,
the PyCharm. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All
That's
right.
right. Editor.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I just put it here. So this is where we will write or edit our script and ready to test our scripts. Okay. Now, just 2 minutes note on where do you get all these softwares from. So you can download it from this. So from here, from Python website, you can download definitely the Python code, which is a exe file, and you just have to follow some on screen process. Once you are downloaded with that, you would get Python idle. You can also write a script on it. Okay, it would look like something this Python editor, but again, I would not recommend this. This do not have a auto correction detection, auto pop-up, etc. You can just do your simple compiling, etc., to see whether you have the right Python version installed, etc. So it says that I have installed 3.9.5 and it's the backend editor of my Python software, but I don't want to use it. Okay, because it has a lot of delimitation. It's not gonna be very functional or very easy to use for a beginner at least. So I would not recommend. Instead of this instead of this, you guys can go with any of professional Python IDE. Okay, and as I told you, like PyCharm, so yeah, a lot of lists here. You can go with PyCharm, Spider, Atom, okay, Microsoft Visual Studio. But as I told you, let's take it up PyCharm. Let's go to download this. There are two versions. This is the free community version. Download it and install it. It's again a exe file. You can see here it's a exe file, and I hope you guys know how do you install. And once you install that, this is how it's gonna look like. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look like, and if you had installed your Python on a very good node on your first attempt, on the first step, what happens is you can see the Python ID to be integrated with that first step. So let me show you. Okay, so this is
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, this will support Windows as well as Unix operating system, sir.
Yes, this software will support, Mac OS, Linux, Ubuntu OS, and Windows also.
Okay.
Okay. 1 second, guys. Let me take my stylus. Okay, so if your step number 1 of installation Python is good, and your second step of installing PyCharm ID is good, then basically you should see this sort of integration happening here. Okay, let's say you didn't install the step number 1 in a proper way. Okay, you didn't do this. Now your second step will not find or detect Python as your fundamental or programming language. So remember, your step number 1 of installing Python and step number 2 of installing PyCharm should be good, and that's how your PyCharm is gonna detect Python as the programming language. Okay, if this is not good, if this is not good, then what happens? It's gonna give you question mark. It's gonna ask you, please tag me or please associate me to the right compiler or interpreter, and then you have to go to that path, select where is your Python that you installed. Okay, so you go to settings, and from this you go and check where exactly this is to be referred to. So in my case, Python from step number 1 was installed here. Okay, so let's say in your case, if you don't install step number 1, then it basically show as no interpreter. And now if you write your script and start triggering, your script will not run. So don't come back saying that your script is not working. Your script to run, there should be that fundamental programming language installed in the backend. Okay, so it should be highlighted to Python 3.9. Okay, and once you're good, you can go to file. You can create a new file, new empty file, something like this. You can call it as my first Python script or something like this. .py. .py stands as an extension for all Python scripts. Okay, it says that it's already present. Let me just name it as a different file. So Python, let's say my second Python file, .py, enter it. And this is how you're gonna get an empty screen where you can type your script. Okay, you can go ahead and start writing your script. Once your script is good, then you can run the play button. So if you see here, there are options to run this script. You can also go over here, and there is one more option at the bottom here in this part where you can run your script. Okay, so very simple. It's not rocket science for anyone to get started. So since this is just first few classes, I'll go very slow on how it's used. All right, so let's see some test samples. Okay, I'm going to show you some test samples, especially to the point which we discussed initially, what basically the network automation can be used for. So let's say my first script, I want to show you guys to bring up interfaces on any device, let's say on 1.1.1, which has 48 ports. And my management say that there are a lot of devices which there are a lot of unused interfaces which are shown as up, and they are asking me to put them bounced or put them in a admin shut mode. Okay, so now this is a a pure networking traditional challenges where you log into 100 of devices. Each device you go to that interface. I hope you how you I hope you know how do we bounce the port, right? So I go to conf mode first, configuration terminal. I go to interface gig 0/0, and then I say shutdown, and then I come out of it. And let's say the list is a huge list. Then I realize that 4 is also unused port, and I have to shut it down. And now this you have to repeat on 100 of other devices. Now this is a tedious job, and you want to write a automation script and get this done in very fast and in a good accurate way. Okay, so I have one script here. I know you may not understand at the moment what's happening, but just let me tell you what is what in very layman's language. So here is where I'm gonna put my IP. Okay, so this is basically Python's list as data structure. Remember the word, okay, which is called as list as data structure. We'll cover all the basic required theoretical topic on class 1 and class 2, so that all the frequently repetitive things are being covered before we start writing any script. Otherwise, it's like you will not be clear with what's list, what's string, what's variable, what's tuple, what's set. Okay, so whatever is frequently occurring theoretical topic, we will first discuss that in our first 2-3 classes, and then we will get started with very small script, and then we keep enhancing those scripts. Okay, so right now this is a list pattern, and I have put IP address of one of the device. Okay, so let me show you our lab. So this is how the labs look like. So this is one of the emulators. Okay, so we have Cisco ASA firewall, Arista, Junos firewall, Cisco routers, and some of the switches. Okay, so let's say I take one of the device, I log into that device, and I just want to know the.
This is EVNG, right?
Yes, it's a very similar to EVNG. Okay.
How to integrate this?
So the enrolled people will get the backend team assigned, and they will help on installing these things. Okay.
Okay.
Brother, what about packet tracer?
No, packet tracer you cannot work. Okay, at least the last version, as far as I know, they don't have any Python adapter on that. So okay, so might be you wait for another version if they can integrate some Python nodes on that. But right now, that's not a compatible version.
Okay.
Okay, so I
better
put my
to go with GNS and PNet.
Yeah, or EVNG or CML. Okay.
Okay, Juniper. Search GNS.
GNS.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Juniper is a vendor. It's not an emulator. Okay, it's like your Cisco competitor.
Fine.
Okay, so I have put my IP address here, and when I say list has a capability of inserting lot of devices into it. I can put even 100 of devices separated by comma. That's the beauty of list in Python. Okay, so always put a script which has the option of having multi devices. Okay, so this is device one with me. I have a username and password. Again, you might wonder, what am I referring to? So I'm basically referring my username name password, which is stored somewhere in a external notepad. Okay, so you can store your credential anywhere, and you can just reference it up or put a lookup to that. Okay, Now you might wonder how this is going to call admin and this is going to password. So there's a lot of things which you guys need to know. As I told you, this is just a test sample today. And in the classes, we will start with very minor small script. And here I have put some input method. So user will be prompted to input his user ID. The script will check what is the status of that. And if the, let's say if the interface is down and down, then it's gonna say it's down and bring it up. And later on, you will do a final post check whether interface is now up or down. And as I told you, this could be like you have 20 interfaces and you want to try one after one. Okay, so we have put some while loop infinity iteration. Again, Python theory. It will be covered in the Python theory. Okay, so this is one script which is of 30 lines. And let's say I right click on that and click on run interface. I mean, click on this file. Okay, so it's gonna ask me what do I need to do with this. It says that interface is up. Next interface, it says that interface is up. Okay, it says that these are all interface up. Okay, so this is one script where you see I can run on multiple interfaces at a time to get my job done. So let's say what is the admin status right now. See, these are all up itself. Do you want me to make them down, these interfaces? Yes, we can do that. We can tweak our script. I can say that if I find up and up, okay, then instead of no shutdown, make it shutdown. Okay, and then we will run our script. Okay, I will also bring make necessary changes here. Is down, no change required. Okay, and let me re-trigger this. So gig 0/0, which is up. Okay, let's put down here. Okay, because okay, let's do in this way. What I'm going to do is I'll bounce some port, gig 0/0 shutdown. Okay, and let's check out here. Okay, looks like this device. So gig 0/0 is my management IP. Okay, that's why I lost the connection. I'll turn off 1/0. Was say IP 30.2. Okay. So gig 1/0. So it says that it's admin down and down and down. Gig 0/2. Zero
Brother, I
slash
had a
two.
query.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in packet tracer, in labs we are using packet tracer along with putty. So now we are using an automation like PyCharm along with that DNet, right? That
I mean,
as
see
a
this
configuration part.
this is software, okay, where you're writing the script. It's not a console.
Is it editor?
It's it's a editor,
I
you
think
can
I
call
lost
it
the
as.
connection.
Okay. So guys, if you see here, wherever interface is good, it will say no change required, and wherever interface has to be bounced, and then it will put the configuration. Okay. So this is for the case studies which we had recorded here. So if I go back to our slide 1, you guys have told me that interface configuration, okay, or any type of or configuration, anything related to your configuration or any type of auditing to see what is happening over on the boxes. Okay. So that is one script which does the job of bringing up the
Hello.
device interfaces or putting down the interfaces. Okay.
And can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very clear about this is the editor where you're running the programs. That's what we're saying now. How does this get linked or get connected, if I can use that word, to the device itself on EVNG? How is it done?
Okay, so that's the secret part.
Sorry?
Okay, that is the secret part.
Because that's why I'm a beauty. Yeah, that's why I know you are doing it and it's working on the devices, but how are they communicating? Yeah.
Yeah, so see, actually what happens,
Brother, I can't hear you at that time.
yeah, might be you
I
check
lost your voice.
you check your mic. Okay. Okay, the secret part here is how the integration is done. Let's say
samples.
This is my emulator in the sense my Peanut Labs or whatever, and I have the Cisco routers, switches, firewalls. Okay, and on the other side I got my laptop or computer, whatever, and I have installed the editor PyCharm ID. Okay, so this needs to be integrated with the emulator, and then only you can fetch or configure or do something. So what we have done is we have kept them in a similar DHCP configuration. So if these all fall under this segment, so this system is also running at so and so IP. So basically they are now in a LAN segment. Okay, and that's how we can connect, talk to box, configure, reboot, do whatever we want in the home lab setup. But as I told you, we have a backend team who will help you installing and getting this lab portion. So you need not to worry, but this is just from your information point of view, how it's configured. So any doubt on this or the previous script which I ran?
Yeah, but here I have a question. Now, for sure, any network devices or any enterprise network, it shouldn't be in the same subnet. So which port is used between between editor and emulator? So is it SSH, normal SSH, and then the integration will be done?
Okay, so let's say what I drew was for home lab setup, but when you talk from enterprise point of view, you basically have a access to the terminal server or Bastion server. So you have to set up your connection over on SSH between your computer and the terminal server, and from the terminal server you can generate the second connection which are towards the customer devices. So this acts as your second connection and this acts your first connection. Okay.
So that's absolutely fine. But integrated now between emulator and let's say Cisco switches.
Mhm.
Does it throw JSON? Does those Cisco switches need to have some packages to be installed to run
No.
YAML or
No,
whatever is there?
No, nothing to be installed. It works all over on SSH, encrypted method.
And this is for everywhere, right? For iOS, XE, XR, ACI, anything. Nexus,
Now,
Linux OS.
now that differs. Okay, so when you have iOS or any Arista switch, okay, so they can work over on SSH, and when you have XE or XR, Nexus, or any next generation firewall iOS, they can work either on SSH or the REST API or RESTconf or netconf. Okay, so there are different mechanisms that can be integrated with the vendors accordingly.
Okay, and all of these would be covered in the course, right?
Correct.
Which is
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Yes. So any doubt with the first example which I gave you? Did you guys get the logic there?
I lost few minutes.
Yeah.
Network, brother.
Yes, sir,
So
we
I
understand.
Okay, so now I think you have some issue with your internet because you're breaking for us also.
I have one doubt.
Hmm. Okay.
Hello.
I want to show you might be one more test example. Most of the time when you guys write the script, they basically have one attempts of credential. That means, let's say for example, someone by mistakenly put something put a wrong password and he save it by mistakenly, okay, or unknowingly, or let's say your credential was put up wrong. Now what happens is when you execute the script, the Python script only works on principle of one attempt, see, and the script goes totally disconnected. Now you have to go back, check why is your login didn't work. Might be you have to fix it. Now this is not gonna work, especially in a scenario when there were 100 of devices, right? So we have to get that piece of enhancement on this sort of script where we can adopt like 3 attempts or 4 attempts. Even Cisco gives us, it's not that Cisco don't let us have 3 or 4 attempts, right? If you try to do your SSH to any box, you might fail on your first attempt, but the Cisco device will prompt you to enter the second attempt, and you can enter that. It will ask you for the third, you can enter the third, and if all your third or fourth attempt is all bad, you basically get connection refused. But if it is good, you get yourself logged in at the third attempt or second attempt. Now that feature is not by default built on this package, okay, the script which I have run. So I'll show you one more script which we discussed in the class, which is to get this functionality. Okay, so we integrated some finite while loop iteration. We said that we want to have some sort of 3 to 4 attempts. Okay, so I'll just show you what would happen. Let me first fix the IP. Let me see if my device got the same IP still or got changed. Okay, 30.28, fine. And I can run the script. Okay, all right. So you can see here the credentials been getting attempted. First attempt, second attempt, third attempt, and if all the credentials are gonna is all bad, then basically you are done with that script. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just fix this up, and I just rerun that script. So now what happened on the first attempt itself, your script is good, your credential is good, and it will go and do the next job, whatever is being asked to do. Okay. All right. See, you can see here, it says that successfully logged in. I can also make it to ask or prompt me the credentials here itself by Python input method. I can say that enter the password, and then I can execute it. Now, I will purposefully put a wrong credential on the first attempt. I will say it's my first attempt. So first attempt is bad. Now it's asking me second attempt. So let's say that's bad. And now I enter the right credential. See. So you're within the box and you're fetching that output of show IP in brief. So this is called enhancement. Okay. It's not that there is any ready-made script and you just give or you just use it for all the requirement. Your requirements can change, and as per your requirement, you have to tweak your scripts. You need to know where do you put this block of code and what can bring you that, or what can give you that particular result for your requirement. Okay, so let's say this requirement was when there were some sort of human error while entering the password, and you wanted to introduce the enhancement of giving 3 attempts or 4 attempts. So we did that in this. Okay, and this script also does one more thing, that is cron backup job. So what we have done is we have put some scheduling on this script, and now what the script is gonna do is it's gonna create some auto backup every 3 seconds. Let me create this folder first. So wherever you want to store your backup, just go and create that particular thing. So let's say I go to the music folder, and I had created one folder called as backup. So this is my backup folder, and I want to save my customer XYZ backup on this file. Okay, for whatever device, could be 10 devices. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, backup is okay, sir. Cron means what, sir, in this scenario?
Cron in the sense, without a network administrator, the script is running by itself. It don't terminate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it would mean job. Is that correct? Like job?
Okay, sir.
So normally, if you see the other script, they get terminated once the script is executed till the last line, right? Once the last line hits, the script gets auto terminated. All the scripts get auto terminated once the job is done. Cron job is something which is infinity loop, especially in the scenario like taking backup. The backup is something which has to be happening as per the time we have scheduled it, like Friday 9 p.m. IST. Should an engineer go and click on the run button to run that backup? No, right? It should happen by itself. So that's called a cron job, and we have applied the cron job on this. Taking backup is again very simple, show run, whatever commands you want to take it, but we have put the enhancement of doing it automatically, a kind of cron job. Okay, now I'll run this, I'll execute this script. It's going to ask me for password, which I can also automate by keeping the credential here. So let's say I put that way. Okay, so I'll just make it more practical in nature. I don't want the password dependency on myself. So I'll say that take the password from that external notepad, and then once I run this, once I execute the script, it will take all required credential, etc. from the folder where we stored, and the backup should start coming here. So right now I have created it in a 3 seconds of fractional of time, because after all, it's a live class. I cannot keep it every Friday or 1 hour of a distance. I kept it as very aggressive timer, 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds, it's gonna hit that box and take the backup for us. You can tweak it. If it's your production, then you can tweak it. You can say Monday to Friday 9 p.m. IST or any time zone, and accordingly you can take. Okay, and you see the beauty. The script is running itself. Even if I put my system on sleep mode and just go away from my desk, the script is still running and fetching the details for me in the backend. Okay, so if you have 100 device, thousands device, don't spend money on the third-party vendors to take the backup. You can run your own script and collect it.
I have a question over here, if you allow me.
Mhm.
Now, the objective of that script is really, I mean, understood. You need to shut down or enable the force. But now the body of the Python, which I have some problem to understand it. For example, if you put a username with the credential 1, 2, 3, 4, between the brackets there is 0. What that's mean of 0 or 1 or all of these? I mean, as a body or as a logic, how we need to start with the Python. Do we need, I
Yes.
mean, is it included in the class? I mean, following classes, that's why you didn't go through it deeply?
Definitely,
Okay,
because
okay,
as I
thank you.
told you, these are just the demo classes. Okay, but when I start with class 1, we will start with some of the frequently used theoretical topic, and then we will start with very small script. In that small script, I will show you how do you read from external notepad, what do you mean by the dictionary, what do you mean
Dictionary,
by what do you mean by a for loop, what is split line going to do. Okay, so
Yes.
this will be the
That's clear.
class curriculum when we start it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, now I think one last script before we go for some open discussion. How many of you know IPSec site-to-site tunnel? And if you guys have configured it anytime, just tell me like how much time it would take for you to set it up, or what's the challenge here?
Well, we've done it. It has a lot of configuration. You know, you got to do crypto maps. You got to do
lot of configuration.
yeah, a lot of
So-
configuration. Yep.
Okay, so do you guys remember all of them, or you guys
No.
maintain some template or follow something?
Right. So we have a spreadsheet. So with the different, GRE with different, different type of flavor of IPSec, you have to put it in a spreadsheet.
Yes.
Go back, copy and paste, and change the host name,
yes.
domain name, IP.
Definitely, might be you would do some human error in
Absolutely.
peer IP
Sometimes I copy
parameters.
paste the wrong host name in there.
Yes.
And then trying to authenticate that doesn't work. So you have to troubleshoot that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Agree. Okay. Yeah. So this is what the challenge of doing a manual IPSec I wanted to bring up before I show the script. We have in the class discussed one IPSec script, which has all the CLI commands kept in a programming way. So anyone who wants to configure IPSec, they can execute the script. You can make it 100% static in nature without any dependency. But I want to bring up that fun of doing one by one parameters and show you. That's why I have not made them like kind of 100% robot kind of thing. I have made it more interactive so that we can see line by line. But as we know, it takes a lot of lines of configuration, and these lines of configurations are all converted into the programming way to get them sorted out. Okay.
You have included also to download the the certificate from like a PKI server, or that's still manual in your script?
So right now this is based on pre-shared key, not
Okay,
on the
got it.
certificate
Okay.
basis. Okay. Okay. Now I'll execute the script. Sorry, go ahead.
This is a predefined template, or you have created this program?
This is created in the class. There is nothing like pre ready-made template or something which you can download from internet. This is done in the class itself, in the live class.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so for that demonstration, I would like to use these two devices. So this is my site 1 and this is site 2. So let's take the IP. Let's see what's the IP I got. Show IP int brief. So I got 30.61 on one side, 172.16.30.61, and on other side it's 62. And also, just to maintain zero error, let's try to find out some standard that we would be using it for ICKMP and IPSec. Okay, so let's say encryption, I would go with 3DS. The hash integrity, I would go with MD5. I would go with the pre-shared key method. The key would be Cisco 123. Let's say the Diffie-Hellman group, I'm gonna keep as 2. Remote peer IP. See, here is where people make mistake. So this is a peer IP. So peer IP is in the sense the opposite routers outside IP. And then IPSec configurations. So let's say ESP 3DES, ESP MD5 HMAC. Transform set, you can give it as test 1, 2, 3 something. Access list, we can give it as 50. Okay, and again, remember it's so let me see what access list type it is. So access number, permit statement. All right, okay. So I can use 50 here. Okay. And remote peer IP. Local area network is this from site A point of view, and local and the remote LAN network would be this, which is the LAN user who is sitting here. So let's see what IP this guy has. So he has 2.100. 2.100. Okay, and the outgoing interface where you would activate the IPSec would be fast Ethernet 0/0. So let's execute. You see the beauty, how it's gonna look like. So it's asking me to enter my own firewall IP. So 30.61. Enter your VPN router IP. Encryption method, I want to go with AES. I want to go with MD5. I want to go with the pre-shared key method. I want the key to be configured as Cisco 123. The DH-Hellman group, I want to go with 2. Remote peer IP. Now this is where people make mistake. So don't make a mistake. Now it's the other side IP, which is 62. Encryption method EES 3DES. Hash integrity ESP MD5 HMAC. Transform set, we can give a name 1, 2, 3 something. Access list, let's say 50. Name towards this crypto map, let's say again test 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Remote peer address, which is 62. Local LAN network, the remote side LAN network, and outgoing interface of your firewall. Okay, so first device get configured. You can see the configuration happening. Once the configuration happens, then it goes to the second device. Now it's asking me to enter all the second device configuration. So second device ends with .62. Remember to give the exact parameters. As I told you, we can make all the things static without any human intervention. But since this is a test or a lab, so I want to show you each and every step here. Okay. Pre-shared key, Diffie-Hellman is 2. Remote peer IP is 61. Encryption method, ESP 3DES. Integrity, ESP MD5 HMAC. Transform set, let's say ASA 1, 2, 3 something. ACL 50. Let's say ASA 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Peer IP. Peer IP is .61. Now local area or LAN is gonna be this segment. So don't make a mistake. And on the remote, this is gonna be the network. Outgoing interface is this. Okay, you can see the configuration happens without even entering one single CLI command. So once the job is done, we can go towards to the box. Initially, the IPSec would not be enabled until we put some interesting traffic to that. Show crypto ICKMP SA. Okay, you can see it's a empty tunnel right now. So we can just initiate some traffic so that negotiation happens and the tunnel can come up. So let's say 2.2.100. Okay, so let's generate some traffic. Let's see if things can come up.
You have not configured a crypto map.
Everything is configured. If something is not configured, we can check here. Okay, looks like some access list got out of the conf mode by having some end command here. So let's see what happened in the backend. Okay, so we have ICKMP. We have the crypto ICKMP key set. We have the transform set, and then you can see this command. Okay, the access list 50 permit IP didn't go well. So that could be because of the access list number. So you know that standard is 1 to 99 and extended is the 100 to 199. Okay, so this line, okay, so 50 belongs to standard, and this is an example of extended. So extended, so we have to use anything above 100. Okay, so this is one statement which went out of that because of not giving the right access lists. So if you go and check here, conf t, and if you say access list question mark, you can see the range. Okay, so if you go with the 50 number, also accordingly the things get changed in the later on side. It's a source based only. But in the IPSec, you know that there needs to be source and destination in an extended format. So let's say 150, and I say that it's a permit statement. I can say it's a TCP. I can define what's my source. I can define what's my destination. Okay, so that issue happened because we didn't put the right access list number. So let me re-trigger this. So let's say it's so let me take the IP reference from here, .61 AES MD5 pre-shared key Cisco 123 DH2 remote peer IP. Now this is important. 62 ESP 3DES ESP MD5 HMAC. Let's call it as ASA 123. Access list, let's give it an example of extended. This is ASA 1234. Remote peer IP, which is 62. Local area network and remote area network. And outgoing interface to be FA0/0. Okay. Now time to configure on the other side, which is 62. It's AES MD5 pre-shared key Cisco 123. DEVNET is 2. Remote peer IP 61. ESP 3DES ESP MD5 HMAC. Let's say 234. Guys, be on mute. Okay. ASA 1 2 3 4 5. Enter. Remote peer IP of peer 61. Local area network is this, and the remote is gonna be this for second box, and the interface is this. Okay, so let's wait if things goes good or bad. Let's try to generate some test traffic. So if you see some lag in the first 2-3 packets, that could be because of negotiation. See, might be there was some negotiation happening. That's why the initial packets dropped. Let's check show crypto ICKMP SA. See, that phase 1 is up. Show crypto IPSec show crypto IPSec SA peer. So 19 what's the IP which we have as a peer? 172. 172.16 30.62. See, okay. You can also make use of rest of the packets. You can filter for encaps and decaps packet. So you can see there are so many packets going out of the first site, and the other site is gonna decrypt that. So this is a like brand new site which you configured without even remembering the CLI commands. You can make 100% automated, but since this is a home lab setup, I wanted to show you by going step by step. So I made it more interactive, okay, by keeping input method. I can just put everything in this file, like how I put the credential, and then I can just run the script. It will take it from the notepad, and we can just come and just see the tunnel status. So any doubt here?
Hello?
Yes,
sir,
go ahead.
Sir, I have doubt, sir. Here you run this script now, sir. So in this script, how many packages are, how many models are used, like Netmico, Paramico, and Nopalum? These are used now, sir, in upside?
You mean to say in the curriculum?
Yeah. In the script, in up down, sir, top down, you may import now, sir.
In this script, we are using only one network library. It's called as NetMiko.
Okay, in this NetMiko, we can call everything.
Yes, we can call everything. There are certain times when it cannot. So in that time, we have to call some other modules also.
Okay. So we need to install the packages in our local, no, sir?
Yes, we have to install all the network modules on our local PyCharm machine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, guys. So any doubt now after seeing some test examples? Again, this is not something which we will start it. So on the very first day, I'm gonna do it like, let's say, show IP in brief.py. We will write very basic script. I'm gonna tell you what module is this, what's connect handler. Okay, what do you mean by a variable? How do you define your dictionary? Dictionary is where you're mapping all your IP address, username, password. How do you take the SSH connections? What happens in the backend? Okay, so let's say when you take any connection, so what's this double asterisk over here? How do you push any command? What do you mean by send command? How do you read the output on your terminal? What is the print statement gonna do? Okay, so there are a lot of things that has to be discussed before you move on. I think this was taken on 15th class from the live session, 15th or 16th class. So first 10 classes or 15 classes are working on a very basic scripts. And also remember, after each block of topics, I'm gonna give you guys some project which is put up here. So you guys are encouraged to write your script, and if you have any doubt, you can ask us in the Slack community, or the next live session you can ask how is the script to be written, or if you face any challenge, you can discuss in the next session. So there are 15 projects which will be given throughout. So you guys, at the end of 2 months, you guys can write your own scripts, or you can at least come up with some of the good script that you can develop yourself. Okay.
One question. For each class, how many hours?
Okay, now I'll tell you what this batch timing is about, schedule of this batch. So this is a Saturday and Sunday batch, which is 3 hours of boot camp. I don't take these straight 3 hours. It's not gonna be possible. So we are gonna have first 15 minutes at say doubt clearing session from any previous class or anything you want to know. And then I'm gonna take a session of 1 to 1.5 hours and give a break of 15 minutes, and then we are gonna go with 1 more hour of class, and then final we have another 15 minutes of doubt clearing session. Okay, so this would come up like 2.5 to 3 hours, and that's how this works. Okay.
And what's the time?
Time is 8:30 p.m. IST to 11:30 p.m. IST.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I have
Hi,
another
Sagar.
question. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Farooq here.
Yes,
I've
Farooq.
got Farooq. Okay, sorry.
Actually, I'm from PST's, time zone, so it's very early, like 5 o'clock in the morning. So you guys are starting 6:30, right? I have a request, like if we can start.
No, 6:30 is just temporary, which I kept right now because I have some other batches at 8:30. So eventually, after 3-4 classes, we will shift it to 8:30 itself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. So after like a couple of 3-4 classes, we will shift to this.
Sure,
So
sure.
yeah. So guys,
8:30 is
hello?
fine. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
fine. Yeah.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, my doubt is your call here external username, password, username from the external like notepad. So we need to take that file in this editor. We can create that file here also. We can call now, sir.
Where you want to configure?
Actually, you call now, sir. That ID, username, and password. We need to keep one notepad. So in this instead of notepad, we can take here on editor. We can create the file like.
Yeah. You can create here itself. Are you asking to put the credential here itself?
Yeah, not here. This file, sir. Like that too. You need to take external. Like the same only. In this file, you have multiple files are there, sir. Here now. So multiple.
Left side.
Yeah. Multiple like this. We need to take the. So this is a username and password text. We need to conflict like this, no, sir. Can be called like no. Is possible or not, sir?
See, actually, I didn't get your question. First of all, are you saying that you want to keep the file in this directory?
Yeah. In this directory, in one file, sir. In this one.
You can. You can do it. You can do
we can
that.
create the text file here in this editor. We can create the text file for storing this password, username, and whatever we want to step. We can call itself now. So it is possible or not? I'm asking, sir.
Yes. You can do it. You can
so for extension, for the path, we can be what we can keep. So path.
See, basically, we call it via open method.
Oh,
Any
okay, sir,
external files. Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, guys, we had put one point called as creating some audit report or something, right?
Yeah.
I have one test sample of that. So this is how we would write a script and we would get our report generated. It's done via regex method. Okay. So
regex method. Okay.
So the regex method would be somewhere here. So when we are coming to this topic, I will show you how regex is used to build such a sort of Excel sheet. When your management is asking you to pull a report from 5,000 device and they need to know host name, IP address, the uptime, what image version they are running at present, what's the serial number. So you have to write some script with some regex and you have to generate such outputs. Okay. So go ahead.
I'm sorry if you allow me to ask.
Yeah,
now,
go ahead.
This class is for a couple of months, right?
This is going to be 2 months, 2 to 3 months.
Great. Now my question is there any future classes that it can be adjust ourselves for a CCIE DEVNET exam, since it is now, I believe in May or something, it would be started. Is there any classes or customized classes like this, or it's still not yet?
Yes, correct. So we are working on this
great
course as well. Okay, so we will announce this course for especially for CCI DEVNET expert.
So now it is just preparing us, let's say, of CCNP or something intermediate
yes,
level.
Correct.
And
yes,
then
correct.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So guys, we have 10 minutes. If you guys have any doubt, you can let me know, or you can email or ping or call at this number. Otherwise, tomorrow we will meet sharp 6:30 as today, and that's gonna be your demo number 2, and I'm going to cover some basic Python fundamentals.
Okay.
So I lost the discussion.
Yes, go ahead.
I lost the discussion in the session because what is that I have to know about that Cisco packet tracer along with the PuTTY software at that time.
That is not part at all. You cannot use packet tracer for automation. So you forget packet tracer.
Okay, now it's belongs to that the automation part, PyCharm along with that PNet, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine.
Okay. After certain after certain stages, you have to let go something, something from the past. You cannot keep carrying everything throughout your career. Okay. Packet tracer is very basic tool which is used for entry level people. It still don't have that feature, but yes, once the feature, might be Cisco launches that feature, you can use packet tracer for automating or any sort of thing.
Okay.
Sagar Hemraj here.
Yes, yes.
Sagar, if by chance we missed some time, maybe we missed the class, so recording will be also available, right? The same
Yes, correct.
session recording.
Yes, correct. So those who have enrolled, I think you guys have received some welcome kit with the learning portal, etc. Right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that portal will have all these videos. Okay.
Okay, so like today class, like means it's in the same day or means the next 2-3 days.
No. After 2 to 3 hours, you will receive it so that you can watch it before your next class.
Next class.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Sagar, Nitin here. I have a few questions. Sorry I was late to this session.
Yes.
Probably I missed it. Just wanted to double check with you before I make assumptions. I did see the course structure, but I wanted to hear from you as in what libraries will be covered as part of this course. And will there be any documentation just to get started with as to which module or library to be used at what situation in terms of the scenario?
Okay, so see, the first thing regarding the module, the module which we would be covering here. So we have NetMiko, we have Ansible, Nornia, NEPAM subprocess. This is just for some test examples only. Scapy, Paramico, PyNTC. Okay, so these are some modules which we will be discussing, and definitely I'll cover a class where I will let you guys know which module does what and what are the decision maker to select a module for you or your customers. Okay, so all modules have a different features, also some limitation. So we need to know what we want to get the automation done for, and accordingly we can use such modules. So I'll let all those things know in the class.
Sure. So it all depends on the use case.
Correct.
Sorry, Mohsin. I just wanted to clear all the questions I have at a time rather than scattering around. So the next question is, are we going to cover Yang, RESTconf, NetConf, and other Jinja 2, etc., which are kind of the core parts of networking libraries or modules?
Yes, it's included. Okay.
Sure.
So it's
as
included.
I see Ansible,
yeah.
I'm sure we will be going through Ansible and Python versus Ansible. So what is the weightage that we are going to allocate for Python versus Ansible?
So Python would be 50 to 60, Ansible would be 35 to 40, or something close to 45 to 50%. Okay.
Sir,
So
Ansible is a
almost
tool, no,
equal,
sir?
sure.
Ansible is a tool, no, sir?
Yeah, it's a automation tool.
Yeah, Python is a programming language.
Yes.
All right. One last question, Sagar. So I did see that you will be covering about 15 projects plus or minus. So all of those will be real-time scenarios, I assume.
Yeah. Yes.
So if we are done with those 15, is it possible to reach out to you for additional real-time scenarios for us to work on ourselves?
Yes, definitely. So if you want more project, I can also give the more real-time aspects.
Awesome.
Brother, what about that certification validation? Like it will be like maximum 5 years. 3 years?
See, basically, from certification point of view, this course will prepare you guys for Cisco DevNet, this paper.
Okay.
Okay, so we will, this is training only, and as you know that whenever you're ready, comfortable, you have to book the exam on the Pearson VUE website, and if you have, I mean, you can write the exam yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that certification part, like the validation, once it's done, like you have any idea, please?
Yeah, it
3 years.
as you
3 years.
yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, so as usual, most of the these CCNA are like 3 years. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey Saga,
Sarah,
have a
do you
question.
have any batch as a fast track or fast batch? I know the duration is 2 months for now. Is it? Do you have any other ongoing batch or future batches that would be done in less than a month or 1.5 months or so?
Yes, for that you can reach out to the backend team and they will guide you about that. Okay. So usually these weekend batch would take 2 months of completion timing. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hey Nitin, I have a question on the course outline or modules. I know with automation sometimes you may be required to create some kind of like front end using like Flask or something like that. Is that something that you cover as well here?
No, it's not covered, but I will give you some pointers. Okay. Though we are planning to get that concept in another module of ours, where we will talk about the Flask and the other advanced thing. So from this batch, we will just cover some basic or some pointers. Okay, some basic thing. We would not build end-to-end using some bootstrap or CSS in this curriculum at least. So that I will cover in another advanced course.
Okay. Would you give some pointers on the Pime Chart Professional, which would have the web interface for HTML?
Of PyCharm, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. We'll guide you. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Sir, Bootstrap and CSS, yeah, these are the front-end framework now, sir. But how this come to this network automation, sir?
See, when you are starting with this, don't think this is the end here. Okay, then there are a lot of advanced things to this. Now, people don't want to even write in this manner. They want a dashboard. So the whole thing you want to convert into dashboard using the front end programming tools, HTML, CSS,
Yes, sir.
database. Okay.
Yes.
So again, that's the next level. All right, guys. So I'll wrap it for now.
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quick one. This is regarding the timing. I know the weekdays and the weekend classes run separately, or do they run concurrently? And if they run concurrently, do you have a situation where if you miss one of the classes or during the week, you can be in the same class during the weekend, or you have to stick to one?
No, unfortunately, they are not concurrent. So you cannot like, but what you can do is if you missed a lot of classes from one, then you can take a retake of another batch. Okay. But they are not concurrent go. So I cannot commit anything on that.
All right. That's fine.
A small question regarding the exams, right? So the CCNA, CCNP. What would be for you as an instructor be the main issue of people not passing? Could that be just the experience itself, or because everybody can study, right? And if you take a lot of time study and practice, that would be should be enough. But I feel that in this field, this particular field, that you also need to have a lot of experience.
Yes. So what happens is most of the people try to mug up the solutions, but without having any hands-on experience, and that's why they sometimes don't get clear the exams. Okay, but from exam point of view, it's very simple paper, which is a multi-question answer format or drag and drop format. If you have worked on these technology or these tools or these programming language, then 80 to 90% chances are that you can get it cleared in the first attempt itself.
Okay, yeah. So it's all about studying for those exams, and of course, in real life, then you really have to also focus on your experience. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry, I've got two questions. One, do you also do the firewall training, ASA Palo Alto, in 2022?
That's right. So this is our link where you can see the upcoming courses. So the firewall mastery, we have a demo on 26th Feb. Okay, and if you go and visit this, you will find all 5 modules that we cover: Palo, F5, Checkpoint, 40, and ASA FTD. Okay.
Okay. Can you send this link on the chat, please? Yeah.
Yes, I will do that.
Thank you. And then secondly, are you giving any discount for those of us in this class when we want to pay?
Surely you can reach out to the backend for all that discussion. Okay.
Okay. Who is the backend? Would you send us the contacts?
Yeah, these are the contacts. So there are teams, sales team who will guide you with the next step.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Thank you.
All right, guys. I'm getting late for my next class. So it was a nice interactive session with you all. So let's meet in the next class. Okay. So see you all in the next class, which is 6:30 p.m. And the same meeting bridge holds good with that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks for your time.
Bye,
Thanks.
sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.